Okay, this video is for those of you who are studying Good Will Hunting. So this is a scene called the boat scene. Okay, it's one of the main scenes in the film. So it's the scene where both Will and Sean first meet. Okay, so if we think about what happens in this scene, so Will has kind of met various other psychologists along the way. He's kind of almost bullied them into walking out on their meetings, and as a final straw, he's sent to go and see Sean. So Sean is a very different sort of psychologist. We can notice that his room's quite scruffy, and he has an unconventional way of talking to Will. Okay, so the main themes in this scene. This scene is all about power. It's all about who's going to get the upper hand out of these two. Is it going to be Will or is it going to be Sean? So it's about power, and everything in this scene is tied in with power and making the other person feel strong or weak. So we just press play and we'll go from here.
Hi, Will. Hi. This is Sean McGuire, Will Hunting. Why?
Okay, just really straight away. So Will enters the room. He doesn't shake anyone's hand, again showing a sign of disrespect. And we also have this interesting shot here. This is a shot where Will has sat down and he's completely disappeared from the scene. So visually, you could say what the camera's doing here is it's making it look like Will doesn't want to be there. Okay, he's literally disappeared from the scene. Right, so he's literally disappeared. He doesn't want to be in the scene. He doesn't want to be in this place. We're talking about this place as well. This is what I mean by the mise-en-scene, the setting. What do we see? So we see a rather scruffy office. We see there are books everywhere. We see that it's not very orderly at all. So what can we read into that? Well, we can read into that Sean himself is a rather disorganised individual. It also might tell us something about his mental state. I mean, later on in the film we know that he struggles with being an alcoholic, that he struggles with the idea of his wife passing away, that he has his own issues as well. And we can say this office space kind of represents his sort of his broken mind. Okay, he's not a organised and clear thinking person at this point. His thinking is all over the place because he's dealing with his own issues. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped. Let's let the healing begin. Could you excuse us? Yeah, please, Tom. You too, Jerry. Yeah, of course. Why? Where you from in Southie? I like what you've done with the place. Thanks. Do you buy all these books retail, or do you send away for like a shrink kit that comes with all these volumes included? Do you like books? Yeah? Do you read any of these books? I don't know. What are any of these books? Probably not. What about the ones on the top shelf? You read those? Yeah, I read those. Good for you.
Okay, we'll pause there. So this is where we can talk about add something else to our Will in the room paragraph. So he's just cracked open a packet of cigarettes there. Okay, symbolically, that's Will showing disrespect. He's in someone else's space and he thinks it's kind of acceptable to start smoking. So that symbolises Will's complete disrespect for not just Sean, but the whole process that he's been asked to do. Remember, the way he stays out of prison is to attend these meetings and attend university. And he is someone who is kind of going against that. He's rebelling. So it shows us that maybe Will is a rebellious character. He's to come.
What do you think about it? Hey, I'm not here for a fucking book report. They're your books. Why don't you read them? I did. I had to. It must have taken you a long time. Yeah, it did.
Okay. just going to tick back. So we're going to look at camera now. So camera's really interesting. What we'll notice is as soon as their conversation starts getting a little bit heated, so the language starts getting a little bit more aggressive, you'll notice that they're never in a two-shot, i.e. you don't see both characters in the same shot, sharing equal space. So we never see Sean here and Will here. Their conversations always take place in a one shot. So when Sean's talking, we see Will, and vice versa. Okay, so what might that symbolise? That clearly symbolises that there is a divide between these two. These two characters are not bonding, they are not together, they are separate. They do not wish to spend time in each other's company. We're about to see Will stand up now. So Will's going to stand up and he's going to head towards the books, and I want you to think about the camera angle used there.
I did. I had to. It must have taken you a long time. Yeah, it did. United States of America, Complete History, Volume 1.
So what we go to here is a really extreme close-up of Will staring at these books. It's almost intimidating. It's almost as if Will's squaring up to to people who are psychologists, to people who think that they're intelligent. Will himself knows he's intelligent. He sees Sean as one of these people, these professors who claim to know everything. Whereas Will, being streetwise and aggressive, doesn't like it. It was literally squaring up to that sort of text.
Hey, you'd be better off shoving that cigarette up your ass. That would be healthier for you. Yeah, I know. It really gets in the way of my yoga.
We also have a dolly shot here, so the camera's moving around Will as he's walking around the room, and Sean himself sits still. It's almost as if Will is being the aggressor here. He's the one kind of looking down upon Sean.
Sculpt? No. Like art? You like music? It's a real piece of shit. Oh, well, tell me what you really think. Just a linear and impressionistic mix makes a very muddled composition. It's also a Winslow Homer ripoff, except you got Whitey rowing the boat there. It's art one day. It wasn't very good. That's not really what concerns me, though. What concerns you? It's the coloring. You know what the real bitch of it is? It's paint by number. They color by number because the colors are fascinating to me. Are they really? What about that? I think you're about one step away from cutting your fucking ear off. Really? Oh, yeah. Think I should move to the south of France, change my name to Vincent. You ever heard the saying, any port in a storm? Yeah. Yeah, maybe that means you. In what way? Maybe you're in the middle of a storm, a big fucking storm. Yeah. The sky's falling on your head, the waves are crashing over your little boat. The oars are about to snap. You're just pissing your pants, you're crying for the harbor, so maybe you do what you gotta do to get out. You know, maybe you became a psychologist. Bingo. That's it. Let me do my job now. You start with me. Come on.
Okay, so it's called the painting scene, or the boat scene, for this very reason. So Will starts talking to Sean about this port in the storm, about how this kind of represents who Sean is. He's really trying to get under Sean's skin. So what might the audience learn about the characters from this scene? Well, even though Will is talking about this port in the storm, about this lone man on the waves all alone, and he's trying to get under Sean's skin, actually he's talking about himself. It's by talking about this painting of a man on the open sea, on his own, struggling against the tide. It's like a metaphor for both Will's life and Sean's life. They've both had lots of hardship. They're both lost individuals. They're both alone. They both feel like they're struggling against their own problems, just like the man in the boat struggling against the tide. That this picture is almost a metaphor for both their lives. And in a way, what happens next bonds them. Will suddenly realises that Sean has problems just like he does, and that he's a human being. So it should tick on.
Maybe you married the wrong woman. Maybe you should watch your mouth. Watch it right there, Chief, all right?
So again, we've got this extreme
That's
close
it,
up,
isn't it?
building up the aggression. Lots of one
What
shots.
happened?
We don't see them together.
Why'd she leave you? Was she, banging some other guy? If you ever disrespect my wife again, I will end you. I will fucking end you. Got the chief. Time's up.
Okay, right, last few points. Have a real think about the dialogue in here. Remember, this is all about power. This scene is about who's got control in their relationship. It's all about that. Everything that's said, all the camera angles that are used, it's all to do with power and control. Just want to talk to you really quickly about colour. So, important colours throughout Good Will Hunting. The important colours are yellow and they are blue. These are the two primary colours that are used throughout the film. So when things are quite yellow, yellow sofa, yellow shirt, yellow light, yellow bric-a-brac on the walls, it normally symbolises a comfortable, open place where Will can almost be himself. Okay, Sean wears a lot of yellow because throughout the film, Will realises that he can be open to Sean. When Will feels uncomfortable or is challenged, things take on a more blue hue. So blue is the colour of challenge throughout the film. So there are points in the film where Will feels under pressure, or he feels uncomfortable, or he feels challenged in some way, often in scenes involving his Skylar, his girlfriend. And they are blue scenes. So blue means challenge and Will being uncomfortable, whereas yellow often means a sense of comfort and confidence that Will has. So just try and remember those. Okay,